All right, so we're replacing the door panels on this Porsche 924 Turbo. It's pretty simple. I'll show you step by step, but there's a screw here. There's supposed to be a cap there, but that one's missing. But there's a cap, and then there's a screw under there. And then you have 1, 2, 3 screws. And then once this comes off, you have another 3 under here. And then you also gotta pull the door handle open and pull this little cap off, but I will show you how to do that here in a second. All right, so to get this little cap off the door handle here to get to the screw behind there, I would grab a right angle pick tool or maybe a flathead screwdriver, and on the inner edge there's 2 little tabs. You just pry it and it pops right out. See, there's 2 little tabs there. You just stick it in there and then pop it out, and then there's a screw. It's the center one, and then there's a little gold clip that goes behind the screw, kind of like, it's like a square washer almost, but you want to keep that. And you can use a impact. I'm just trying not to an impact or a drill. I'm just trying not to strip out these heads. Yep, see, there's that. And then this comes off just like that. Make sure you don't lose any of these parts. And what I use, these are $10 or $13 on Amazon, but you just use this to pry these little caps off, and it comes off just like that. There's supposed to be 1 here and 1 over here. And make sure that you do not lose the washers for these screws, because these door panels are very sensitive with how old they are. But I've got some ones that are in a little bit better condition that I got from a Porsche 944. Alright, so there's those 2 top screws. And I'd keep everything separated, because each section of the door panel has different screws. It's pretty easy to tell which ones are which. This door panel looks like it's been off before, just because how some of the heads of these bolts look. Well, this car was originally like a dark gray. Ah, that's no good. Alright, I did not hopefully lose anything. Well, that comes off as a separate piece, and then there's 3 more screws under here that we're going to need, and we'll get those. You might need a flashlight to find the heads, because they're at a really weird angle in there. And then this door handle and the armrest, it's just gonna dangle. So just be aware of that. I really like snap-on screwdrivers, because the heads of these things, they grip every single Phillips screw and they do not strip them out, which I love. Love them so much that I have 3 sets. Alright, so now you're going to want a wedge, or you can even use a flathead screwdriver, but there's little clips. I'll show you here in a second what they look like, but they're along the sides and the bottom of the door panel, and just be gentle if you're reusing your door panels. But you'll hear, yeah, these ones are, yep, yeah, this one's pretty rough. Just make sure you get as close as possible to those clips with the wedge. Alright, and then once you have everything loose, you just slide up, and this weather seal comes right off, and it lays over these lips of the top of the door. But you're going to want to take your right angle pick tool to get out the window switches. I think the angle on the camera is not too bad. Okay. Just be gentle with these plugs because it is from a 1980s car. I need a little flashlight to see what I'm doing. All right, so you just have 3 plugs, and for the mirror switch, I'd put your right angle pick tool right under this lip right here and pry up, and then for the window switches, you just put it in there and then pry outwards, and they should pop right off. I had no problem. Apparently they just duct taped this moisture barrier. The other door didn't have one at all. So, and a couple of these clips, they broke. So make sure that your new door panel has those. Otherwise, you're going to have to figure out a solution for that. But I'm just going to tear this all off. Well, and I will show you the finished result and how everything goes back together. Okay, another thing to be mindful of on these door handles is if this is already off, the bolt head right here, my new door panels, it was very rusted, so I just took it to my bench grinder and cleaned up those threads so it did not like bust or strip out that stud. But yeah, this is what I was meaning by they dangle, but you leave it attached if you're reusing them. But you leave the door switches on and the window switch and you're good to go. All right, so we got this new handle put on the door panel. I didn't realize that the 944s had door speakers. This is a 931 or 924 turbo, so I'm gonna have to find some speaker grills eventually. But I'm not really worried about that right now. The car's not running. I gotta buy a fuel tank for it. It's rusted. I just want to do a 944 tank swap, so it's plastic, and I don't gotta worry about it having to rust or anything like that. So first things first, what we want to do is plug the mirror controls and then the window switches back in. So I might lock it a little bit. They didn't give you any extra wire really to work with here. Oh, is it already plugged in? Yes, it was. Never mind, I was just being dramatic. It's pretty obvious to tell which wires go where, so you shouldn't have a problem whatsoever. All right, now the only thing you got to make sure that lines up is your door lock. Make sure it goes in the hole and make sure it's not bent backwards. Another thing I noticed on the other door is keep your hands here after you get this weather seal at the top, just because those switches like to pop out a little bit. Yep, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to find the hole. There we go. Just make sure you pull down on all that, and then you should be good to go. And just be very gentle with these door panels because they're like fabric on the backside almost. I eventually want to get some fiberglass and reinforce them later on, but it's stored inside now. It was stored outside for years, but I'm not too worried about it right now. But yeah, let's get this door panel rocking. Very gentle with all the clips because it is an old car. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to pop those old clips out, so I will be back. So I gotta pop this back off. That's my bad. All right, my GoPro has 8% left, but these pliers were a lifesaver. I didn't have to pop the door panel back off because I was able to get in there because of those angles. I'll try and link them in the description. They're off Amazon. I forget what the hell they're called, but... And then this Cornwell tool, awesome. Make sure you don't over tighten this, because I noticed that it is not as flexible when it needs to be when you're putting these 2 screws back on. So just be mindful of that as well. All right, let's get cracking. If my GoPro dies, I'll record on my phone for the rest of the time. Let's do these top ones. Don't forget about that screw in the middle of the door handle. I started with that one first on the other side, and I'm always forgetting. Put this back on. Don't forget that, like me. Gonna take some pressure to get that little screw back in. I'll get back to you when I figure that one out. All right, so we got everything all buttoned up. The door handle, the 2 screws at the top, the 3 screws in the armrest, solid. And then this, the fitment is funky. I don't know why, if it's the difference. But I'm pretty sure the 924s and the 944s are pretty much the exact same, but the fitment's a little funky, so I just use my knee to kind of push it into place while I'm screwing them in. Just be mindful of that. Just trying to line these screws up. I can't tell if these are more complicated than new cars or not. Not really, I feel like. I feel like it's relatively similar, in all honesty. That don't feel right. Just spinning. I don't know if it's stripped out or what. But I'll figure it out and I'll show you guys the finished product. It's pretty much finished. I just gotta screw the door lock cap on and that's about it. Alright, so after about 20 minutes of fiddling with this door pocket panel, these 2 screws went in fine, but this one was a pain in the ass. I just stick a straight pick through the door panel to find where the hole was. I don't know why it was such a problem, but there's the finished product of a 9.4. Let me turn that light off. Of a 944 door panel on a 924, so it's pretty much direct fit. But I'm just gonna buy some speaker grills. I think on eBay I found a pair for 20 bucks, and they just screw in. So I'll probably just drill 4 holes and put some self-tapping screws in it. We'll see. I might do something a little different, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what we got going, and we got all kinds of stuff in the interior.